All right, this is the journey of 0 to 1 billion, day 162, I think. Right now it is Sunday night, and let's get straight into it. And if you're new to this, the journey is, or the business model is LBOs, buying businesses using leverage, which is just an LBO. It's been around for a long time, and it's a great way to create massive wealth. That's what we're doing. So let's get straight into it. I want to talk about a few topics. I've been reading up on this guy named Brad Jacobs, and I read his book. I've been reading his book and his audiobook, and I want to talk about a few takeaways I've had of that. I want to talk about offense, defense, and what I did today. So I don't think I gave an update on offense in a couple of days, actually. I've been working on it every day. So, man, this is why I just want to do it off the cuff in the same day. So for today, man, I went through, I'm not going to show the numbers and everything and all the different stuff, but I was going through all the softwares that I'm subscribed to. And I think I'm going to switch my tactic. I noticed that Apollo gives you a feature where you could create a sequence. And here's the part that I didn't know. I know about the sequence, but I didn't know that you could send an email, then add them on LinkedIn, and then send another email, for example, and then you could call. And honestly, I've never tried their direct dial phone numbers. So I'm excited to try that tomorrow, because tomorrow's Monday. I'm gonna hit cold calls tomorrow. Everyone says the best way of finding deals is telemarketing, cold calling, and also I see that a lot of brokers, they send out mail. One broker who apparently, according to him, he does decent numbers. He only sends 500 letters every quarter, I think, or 1,000 letters every quarter. So he only sends 4,000 the whole year. I sent out, I think 333, and I don't know when they're gonna hit the locations. They told me it's gonna take anywhere between 8 to 14 days to arrive. So we'll see the results from that, man. I'm still waiting on that. And matter of fact, the mailing company that I worked with, they sent me a package that had all the samples of the different mailers that they do. And a lot of them are postcards, so I'm trying to filter through these postcards. If you look at this, this is the handwriting. It looks so real. You know? It looks like clean handwriting. So it doesn't look like it's robotic or anything like that. I don't know if this is the one I sent. It doesn't look like an envelope. It doesn't look like a bill or anything like that, stands out. If you get this in the mail, it has your name on it, you'd be curious, right? Most of the time in my mail, I kind of get these ones, right? If I see this, I'm kind of throwing it to the side. This one right here is kind of like that, but it's more interesting because it looks like a check. So if I open it, this would be interesting. So I could write on a check how much I'm willing to pay them for their business as an example. And it's not fraud or anything. This is just a picture. So you can't cash this in. It's literally it's empty on the other side. So yeah, it's just regular print on the bottom. I like this one too. I was gonna try this one, but I actually didn't send any of these. I could try this one. So I want to see what you guys think in your opinion. I really like the check one. And there was another option that had it had a check and also had a few dollars. So it makes it more enticing to open. The goal is to get them to at least open it. And these ones are normal. This one's pretty cool. If I see this, I'd be intrigued to open. And then the rest of them are kind of weird. Yeah. A lot of them, man. These are postcards. Postcard, the difference between a postcard and a letter is the postcard, it literally sends into your mail like this. Like you don't open it. Like it has like the address and everything on the paper. So you're just sending a piece of paper versus sending like an envelope with a piece of paper inside of it. So like some of them have like drawings. Like this one's like, the check one is really cool. I like the check one. Like these kind of colors are enticing. So I guess the question would be between, where did you go? So like these are my two favorite ones. I wish this one had like some more color to it, but usually when you get a check in the mail, it looks like this. When's the last time you got a check in the mail, man? But anyways, today I'd count Brad Jacobs and reading up on Brad Jacobs as part of offense. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna try my best. I need to be careful with my language right here. I'm going to contact Brad and get him on. I shouldn't say this, honestly. I'll reveal it when it happens, because it is going to happen. But honestly, it reminds me of the QLA guy when I talked to him. He told me, like, you need to have a chairman on your board, and you need to have someone that you don't have to explain about. And, like, imagine, okay, having a mentor is, like, huge. Everyone knows that. Now, imagine reaching out to your mentor with a business idea that he could get behind, and as a result, he could directly teach you how to do it. Now, is it sweeter than it seems? Maybe. But like having like a big hitter on your team, man, like why would that be a bad thing? I don't know. Maybe I should go for a solid chairman, like someone who could be like a mentor figure. You know what I mean? There's a lot of these kind of guys. Like there's thousands of them. Like at least like 3,000 people. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going about it all the right way. Honestly, that's the genuine answer. But the truth is, I gotta just keep trying. I gotta keep swinging at the plate. I know even if I had a chairman on my board, it would help me get meetings and stuff. But like with the cold calls that I've been doing so far, it wouldn't help advance me in any way, to be honest. Not so far. I'm really looking forward to seeing how these mailers do. So, what else did I do today? I was switching between the software and I was creating different sequences. I canceled instantly, which is like the cold email campaigns I've been doing. My results lately have been terrible, man. And I'm spending like a decent amount of money on it. So I'm thinking, man, I'm just going to put it all on Apollo because I could send cold emails, I could do sequences, and I could do direct dial numbers and get different lists. Like, why not? I don't know. Let's think about it. Yeah. Anyways, maybe I should go about working more on LinkedIn. So creating a sequence with like connecting with like 40 people a day, every single day. Like maybe try that out. Also, here's another thing that I could also pursue. So I could start connecting with accountants and lawyers and different professionals, telling them like, hey, we're looking for acquisition targets, blah, blah, blah. This is our buy box. But I think it's better with the attorneys than the lawyers or than the accountants. But I heard a lot of people saying like, man, you create deal flow through your connections. So I haven't really fully tried that. But honestly, that only comes to a certain point. Like at some point, you have to just start doing cold marketing, you know? Pace Morby is an interesting guy, man. Pace, I can tell you stories about Pace, but he talks about creative finance. He talks about seller finance on buying businesses versus real estate. he makes it sound simple. Like for him, he talks about, man, listen, you get an expired listing list for houses. You get listed for over 1,000 days. I think it was, and low equity lists. And once you have those lists, you call for like 2 hours, he said, and you'll find like a deal. But there's no way it's just that simple, man. No way. They always make it just seem so simple. But this is what I know. I need to get back on track with everything I'm doing because, man, we've been at this for a decent amount of time now, and I'm not ready to quit. I want to keep going. I'm not switching. I'm not pivoting. But anyways, back to the book, right? So in the book, Brad was talking about something very interesting. He was saying how even if you mess up, if you're on the right side of a trend, then it's hard to fail. It makes it harder to fail. Also, like I've been listening to a lot of his interviews, and I've seen two different people. He's talking about different industries that he thinks are great industries right now. And one of the ones he was talking about was oil and gas properties. He was saying they trade at like 2 to 3 times multiple, which is like super undervalued. I don't know anything about oil and gas. I'm not switching to it, but that's interesting. He talks about added value manufacturing. That's what he's trying to do. Me, I'm in healthcare. I'm trying to capitalize on the trend of the baby boomers and people living longer, that kind of trend. There's going to be high demands from customers, so we're capitalizing on that trend. But yeah, I guess today, like weekends, it's harder to, like I can't cold call, so I'm really working on like back end stuff, like fixing up the emails and mailing lists like that, and doing research. But every day I'm doing something, man. But yeah, you got to do something that progresses you every single day, like one step forward. And something else I want to talk about. I spoke with someone that has a bigger YouTube channel than myself. This is someone that I've met in person. I've met him multiple times. He's giving me advice on the channel, and he's like super convinced, like, McDad, like you need to just stop doing the daily uploads. Like you need to switch your format. You need to do 2 uploads a week. You need to edit more. You need to have a more concise video and not so raw. And yeah, that's what he's saying. And he showed me his analytics at his YouTube channel. He's like, okay, these are my returning viewers. These are my new viewers. And he's like, why do you want to do every single day? He's like, YouTube's not built for that. Like, why are you trying to do every single day uploads? And he got me thinking, right? So the reason why I want to do every single day is because I want to showcase exactly what it looks like to get a first deal. And I don't necessarily want the YouTube channel to blow up before then. You know what I mean? It would kind of hinder against me. But he was telling me, like, man, like, why are you looking at it like that? Like, the YouTube channel could be like a tool to help you get a first deal. And he was like, what is the goal behind your channel? Like, why are you making videos? Like, I'm not here to sell a course or any kind of consultation calls. I'm not doing any of that. So he's like, why are you making these videos? Like, why are you doing it every single day? And what's the purpose behind it? And I get, so this was my answer for that. I was telling him, listen, I think it would be so cool if someone literally showed every single day what it looks like. Because I would want to watch that, honestly. Like, I wish that was something that was out there. Like, a genuine, like, real journey of what it looks like every single day for someone who's brand new. Right? That doesn't really exist, first of all. I want to do something that doesn't really exist. But, like, why? Like, why do you have to do every single day? it just doesn't exist. I think it's cool. So two, what's the purpose behind doing videos? Like, I'm not trying to sell a course. Like, what value does it give me? Like, why would I do it? I think this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking like, listen, if I have my first deal and I showed people, like my audience, I showed them how I worked every single day, they've been following me through that, I would want to crowd fund on the channel. And I'm kind of putting that out there. So if you're watching till this point, tell me what you think of this. But I heard Warren Buffett say that when he first graduated from college, he didn't go to like a big Wall Street firm or anything like that for finance. He went back to Nebraska or Omaha, Nebraska, and he raised $1,000 from 100 people. He raised $100,000 and started Berkshire Hathaway. So I don't know what his first investment was. I think he bought a business, but he raised $100,000 from 100 people. So I'm thinking, listen, if I'm showing people every single day how I'm working, I'm telling them, hey, look, this is how much money you can make, and you'd have equity in the deal, and you can make back your money in 1 year, cash flow, right? However you want to structure the deal, whether it's cash flow over a long period of time, or you get your money back in 1 year and you still hold equity, structure it however you want. But listen, guys, this is how you can make money. This is what a deal kind of looks like, because I can't share with you unless there's an NDA, etc. But I'm going to give you an example similar, blah, blah, blah. Listen, if you spend $1,000 with me on this deal, not only will you own equity in the company, you'll also have your money back in a year. This is what I'm thinking. You spend $1,000, you make $1,000 back within the year, and you own a piece of equity, right? Or you could structure it where you have a piece of equity and you get cash flow throughout the years of owning it. Monthly sort of deal. So, but the cash flow would be smaller. But from my perspective, if I was you guys, at $1,000, right, I would invest in, equity and then getting back my money within a year, because I'm not going to lose and there's only upside from there. But also, you got to keep in mind that having the ability to invest in an asset like a business with higher returns, that sort of deal, it doesn't really exist. It doesn't really exist out there. Like, you have to be an accredited investor to find those kind of investments, right? Like, you have to be worth over $2 million in net worth, and you need to be making $200,000 a year for the past 2 years, and then you could have access to give money to get returns on your investment. So those kind of guys have the ability to invest in a deal like this. Normal people with like $1,000 never get to really invest it like in a real sense, right? Like what are you gonna do with $1,000, man? Like, how are you gonna grow it, right? If you make the 1,000 back in 1 year and you still own an asset, how can you lose like that? Like, it's a great deal, honestly. $1,000, you own equity and you get cash flow. I want to crowdfund my first deal. I want to get 100 people to give me $1,000. I know for sure I could do that. In fact, I could probably raise equity on a deal, $100,000 from one person, right? But we're on the journey of finding the deal right now. But yeah, for now, I'm going to stick to daily. And when it comes to pivoting, I'm still thinking about that. I don't want to be impulsive with that thought, but that also has to do with why I've been missing a couple of days. But nonetheless, let's get to work.